Page 6, Through the Woods. Now we get eighth notes in 3/4 time signature. Who cares? It doesn't matter what the time signature is. An eighth note is an eighth note. You're still 1 and 2 and. It's that in 3/4 time, we're going to count to 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's the only difference. However, they're starting on beat 3. Let's back up. Let's make sure we understand some of this terminology we're using, because I need to refer to it, and if you don't understand it, you're lost. So, I told you what a staff was already. The group of 5 lines, that's a staff. Okay, those vertical lines that appear, those thin vertical lines that appear, those are called measure lines or bar lines, depending on what country you're from. I'm liable to call them either one. And the space in between, the distance in between those vertical lines, that's called a measure or a bar. Could be called either one. I'll call them measures. Well, according to the time signature, every measure has to have a certain number of counts in it. In 3/4 time, every measure has to have 3 counts. That's just the way it works. Well, if you look at the beginning, there's only 1 quarter note there. That's not 3 counts, that's 1 count. What they do is they split a measure up. This just gets fantastic. You're going to love it. If you look at the last measure at the end of the second line, you see a half note in it. That's 2 counts. So 2 counts are there, and the third count, because every measure's got to have 3 counts, the third count is at the beginning. They cut the measure off there and stuck the end of it at the top. As far as we're concerned, we're coming in on beat 3. When you count it, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we're just coming in on beat 3. So it's 3, 1, 2, 3. It's called a pickup note. All right. And that's all that is. Don't make it hard or nothing. It's just a pickup note. You're not coming in on beat 1. You're coming in on some other beat. And it could be any other beat. Here is beat 3. Let's check and make sure we got the notes here. So the left hand, you're here. 4th finger on the G, and the right hand, 3rd finger on the E here. So we're still in middle C position. And I'm assuming you know the names of these notes in the music. If you don't, drill yourself. Keep drilling yourself until they're automatic to you. Here, just play the notes. And don't worry about counting. Just make sure you got all these notes. Oh, we got 2 C's in a row. Look at the second full measure. That's where you have an E and a C, C. Each hand is playing it. That's fine. Just, you got to get out of the way so that each hand can have it. Okay, you go through and play it. Then add the counting when you got the notes. And make sure there's no hesitations anywhere. So it's 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. That's the way that works. So you go through and play it and count it out carefully, and then go back through and make sure there's no hesitation so the beat is a steady beat. Doesn't matter how fast you go, but it's got to be a steady beat. Now, I haven't talked about technique. I don't teach technique in these videos much because I really need to see you in front of me so I can see what you're doing. But as far as the technique goes, you want to let the wrist collapse a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And you let the weight push you down. Your arms and your hands weigh a certain amount, so much, and it's plenty heavy enough to push a note down. So don't hold the hand still and try and use the fingers. Let the weight do this, and you can do this on each note. Here, it's kind of hard to see from here, but just like on each one, that's fine. We will adjust it later on. Right now, we're doing this. I want you to get accustomed to having the weight push it down. And a lot of times, if you're small enough, you're doing that anyway, because you got little muscles and it's hard to push the notes down. So you let the weight push the notes down for you. That's all. You're just changing which finger the weight is on, is all you're doing. Let's play this together slowly and check and make sure you have all the notes and rhythms correct. all the counting correct. This is after you've learned it. Learn it first, and then come back and play it with me slowly. Now, because we come in on beat 3, I'm only going to give us 2 counts. I'm going to go ready and go and then we come in on 3 and. Ready and go and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Ready and go and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 2 and off. Now there is a duet part at the bottom, an accompaniment thing. I'm going to play that, and you play what you just played, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the same speed. I'm not going to speed this up. So I'm going to give us 2 counts, and you come in. Well, there's no note at the bottom for the pickup beat. You're by yourself. I'm going to play that note with you, and then I'm going to do the accompaniment part. Ready and go and.